Hey everybody, welcome to the Stock Car Spectacle. I'm Ian Jordson.
I'm Mike Gamble.
And I'm Nick Kinzel.
And as you can see, we're not on Zoom, we're actually in studio.
Look at this. Yeah, wow.
Computer screen right now.
Yeah.
This doesn't feel right.
Does not feel right whatsoever, but glad that we're back in the studio now. So guys, how about we start off right? Let's start off with our diecast of the week. Mikey, what you got, man?
All right, fellas, it may be dirt, but it's Bristol, baby. And who said that other than good old Dale Jr.?
That's right.
Now, I didn't really have a cool Dale Jr. diecast I could play, so I just played my favorite Dale Jr. diecast that I have. His nationwide Batman vs. Superman car. I think it's a really sick looking diecast. And I got this in Chicagoland for $20. It wasn't that long after the movie came out. I think they were trying to get rid of it the year after he retired, just trying to clear all their inventory. It was like this diecast, a big plastic like toy one, and a sign, everything for $20.
Yeah, that was Michigan, right? Yeah.
Yes, it was a Michigan race car.
Yeah, because him and Jimmy did the Superman car. Yeah, that was really cool.
So yeah, $20 buy there. I'll take that all day.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
All right, Nick. Oh wait, hang on. I actually picked out your diecast of the week for you, man. A little surprise here.
A little something.
Mike knows what it is.
Yes, I do.
Oh, no way. How did you find this?
I was just looking on his website one day because I saw a picture of the car. Yep. I saw it.
Wait. This is how you open your diecast boxes?
I saw it was in stock and I was like, oh, I gotta get it for him.
I remember when he ran this.
It's signed, you know?
Oh yeah.
Oh shit! I didn't even see the box was signed.
Woo. Thanks, bud.
Yeah, man.
He put this out.
Where were we trying to win it? Remember?
Select few. He was only doing a giveaway.
Mm-hmm.
Woo.
Yeah.
Nice.
Had them on sale, man.
Oh my god, this thing's beautiful. All right, well, cool. That's that. I guess I'm rolling with what Ian just got me here. 2018 Travis Braden WVU ARCA car. This thing is sweet. Obviously, I go to West Virginia, so man, yeah, I've been looking for this thing for a long time. I remember they were only giving it away in like contests and everything. So yeah, gonna rep Travis Braden and WVU.
Hell yeah.
Thanks, bud.
Of course, man.
Holy shit.
Move over, Trevor, in your UT car, pal.
Going into finals for your first semester over or your first year at West Virginia University. That's awesome, man. So either way, you're a mountaineer for life, man.
Holy shit, that's beautiful.
That is a sweet looking diecast right there. Yep.
That's insane.
Because I saw someone post like a picture of it on like Twitter or something, and I was like, I remember Nick told me he Travis Braden was selling them, but they're sold out. I looked on the website like in stock, and I was like, fuck, dude, I gotta get it.
He gave me this box, and I remember we had a conversation last week. I literally thought I was about to open up a Justin Haley race win. I was gonna kick your ass. I really thought that was gonna be, but man.
You went from fighting them to hugging them.
Yeah.
That thing's beautiful.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the colors look good on that too.
WV on race.
It's gotta be your first ARCA diecast.
Yeah, definitely. Hell yeah, thanks, bud.
Of course, man.
Man, your box is sick.
Yeah, right?
Holy crap. Beautiful. WV, the flying WV on a race car. Screw this. This is America right there.
Beautiful. All right, guys, for my diecast of the week, we are going back to the Bristol Dirt race. So I figured I had to bust out Kevin Harvick's dirt Busch car. They got the dirt all over the paint scheme and everything. And so, it looks pretty cool. So I'm excited, guys. It's going to be at nighttime. There's going to be more moisture in the air. So hopefully it'll be a lot better than it was last year.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Don't have really high hopes for it.
Yeah. Neither, but guys, let's get into the show. Before everything, guys, make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram. We're also on Spotify, all other podcast platforms, and again, make sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. So guys, let's get into the race review. Pretty, kind of an eventful with Truck Series, Xfinity Series this weekend. So we started off With the truck series, we had Zane Smith getting the pole for the race, and he ended up winning stage 1. Ben Rhodes won stage 2. Good playoff points for him. And after a bunch of beating and banging guys, William Byron won for Spire Motorsports in that 7 truck. So, I mean, got him ready for the cup race. That's for sure. We already know the kid's pretty good at Martinsville.
Yeah. So, no, pretty exciting racer all the way around. Like you said, another good, nice stage win for my boy Ben.
Mm-hmm.
He's having, other than not having a win yet, he's having a really nice season so far. It's been really consistent. Get a win or two, and he's in really good shape.
Absolutely. All right, guys, let's move on to the Xfinity Series. We had Ty Gibbs winning the pole, and he won stage 1. Brandon Jones won stage 2, so good sweep there for Joe Gibbs Racing. And then we had wreck after wreck, battle after battle for $100,000. We had Sam Mayer and Ty Gibbs going at it on the track. Allmendinger, he eventually won the $100,000. Brandon Jones won the race, but they got into a little altercation after the race. Ty Gibbs went over to Sam Mayer. They started pushing each other. And then Ty Gibbs kind of pulled a bitch move, not taking off his helmet, throwing some punches there. But, I mean, you got to take off your helmet if you're going to throw some fists, man.
I think that this whole thing it's from listening to podcasts, it's like Door Bumper Clear and everything. They talked about it. They had Dale Jr. on to even talk about it, which is pretty cool. It's just, it showed right there. Ty Gibbs, he can dish it, but this was the first time we saw it. The first time it got back to him, and he did not take it well. Mm-hmm. He dishes it all the time. We know Ty Gibbs. He has no problem moving people out of the way. And he's just like, oh, that's just hard racing right there. He said it happened to him a week ago. And then, here we are 1 week later, and he finally gets it for the first time. And his first thing to do is, let me go cry about it with my helmet on. And because he said Sam Mayer is the one who started this, which is funny. Go watch
He ran up to him.
He ran up to him. So
and he slammed into the rear end of the car, too, which got him a $15,000 fine.
Which is good. You know what?
Yeah.
To me, the whole thing just reeked Little League. So it was 2 young guys, a lot of tempers, and not an ounce of maturity.
They're teenagers, right, man.
Exactly. Yeah. So the biggest fault to me, though, isn't the helmet thing. It was exactly that. It's using the race car after the race.
Yeah.
There's guys that got to go back and fix those cars and put a lot of time and effort into that. And it's one thing that happens on the racetrack. Stuff like that is going to happen. But after the race, it's like, what are we doing, man? Come on. That's a terrible look.
Yeah. It just shows that he doesn't have respect right now. Right. And honestly, it's the beginning of his villain story in NASCAR, man. Kyle Busch had it, and now Ty Gibbs has it. This is why Dalton likes Ty Gibbs. He's a mini Kyle Busch.
Oh, man. All right, that's a hot take.
Yeah, he can dish it, but he cannot take it. That's what we learned about Ty Gibbs this weekend. Mm-hmm. And now we also learned that Sam Mayer's got to take some boxing classes here.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
because if he tries to throw a punch,
he's going to break his hand. Yeah. So, he couldn't do anything. That really sucked.
He didn't have to go to the Rocky School of defense, which is blocking punches with your face.
Yeah.
Never works out well.
So in his interview, he's like, oh, those were weak as hell.
Yeah, dude, you got fucked up, man.
Ty Gibbs can fight, but man, he's just a little immature baby.
Yeah, I mean,
this is what I thought Ty Gibbs was going to be. Dishes it all at once, just cannot take it. It's going to be a long season for him. There are going to be guys that are going to make sure this kid does not win a championship and keeps running into people like this. So
I just love seeing these 2 dumbasses go at it, man. It's fun. It's going to be a fun season with these guys.
With that, and then Sam Mayer being the biggest dumbass of all time and missing a shift on the restart, which caused the red flag.
Yeah, took out Noah there. Yeah,
took out 30 cars there. So jackass number 1 to Sam Mayer and jackass number 2 to Ty Gibbs, and this is not the end of it. They might say that.
Oh no,
those 2 hate each other, feed each other.
Ty's probably got 2 more years in Xfinity. Same thing with Sam Mayer. Well,
they talked about this on Door Bumper Clear.
Yeah,
like, if you got an opportunity to move this kid up, do it. He's just doing no good rotting down there in Xfinity Series. They're thinking that. Yeah, get him in. At least start getting him into a ride next year. Get him a handful of races next season.
And like some Toyota, like even like a 2311 car.
Where's he gonna go? That's the problem. But
start a 3rd car with 2311 if Truex isn't ready to go.
What's gonna happen is Truex gonna retire, and then they're gonna jump Ty Gibbs right in there. He's just too good. He has the same winning percentage in the Xfinity Series that Kyle Busch does. He's just an immature little prick. who finally got it back to him, and it's just gonna be a tough year for him.
Yeah, well, there's gonna be some learning curve stuff.
Yep.
There's gonna be some lessons to be learned. Like you guys said, you race people like that. You don't gotta be out there and be best friends with everybody. You know, it's a race, it's competition. These are guys competing, but at the same time, you know what? You gotta have at least some kind of good repertoire with these people, because guess what? These are the guys that can take you out of the playoffs too. So
you're with them for all 32 races of the season, man. Like, it's not going to be a fun year if that's the way you're going to be acting.
Well, just
like, he's been pissing everybody
Ryan
off.
Sieg thing. That was like lap 6 of an Xfinity Series race at Vegas, and he's just trying to wreck Ryan Sieg right there. Like he's just too aggressive. Like it's good that he's an aggressive driver, but man, there's pushing the limit. Right. And I think we've seen that with Ty. It's just like I said. It's gonna be a long year for him if he doesn't race these guys with respect, because all these guys can do, they could just take him out and make sure he doesn't win a championship. But I will say I do feel bad for Brandon Jones. Every time that guy wins a race, there's always another story. Joe Gibbs didn't even look happy. He's like, oh shit, my grandson wrecked. Like,
he's an idiot.
Even on live TV, Joe Gibbs didn't even look like he cared that Brandon Jones was in that race. But
for the first time in a while, Brandon Jones actually got a legit win. This wasn't like he lucked out of it on a really good restart. He looked good throughout the entire final stage. Had a really good car, and he actually got it done. So good for Brandon Jones. That's actually the first time I ever said that for a Brandon Jones. No, nobody gave a shit about it because of what happened with Ty Gibbs and Sam Mayer. But either way, that's awesome to get the win at Martinsville, one of the toughest tracks to win at.
Dude just bought himself 5 more years in that 19.
No,
he ain't going anywhere.
Dude, Xfinity is his limit, man. He'll never see Cup racing.
That's really shitty though. Your own team owner just didn't look like he gave a shit because he cares more about his grandson, which I get it. But dude, come on, at least look a little bit happy. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, only to Brandon Jones does that happen.
No kidding. All right, guys, let's move on to the Cup Series race. The first snoozer of the year. You know what, guys? Out of all these races, you know, we knew we were going to have one snoozer. Who thought it was going to be Martinsville, though?
Not me.
No.
That's usually the one place you can always circle, like, okay, this one's going to be fun. There's going to be stuff going on here.
Yeah. But, you know, not a whole lot of wrecks. It was pretty much caution free throughout the whole thing. You know, rain kind of delayed the start of it too.
It was just a factor of a lot of things. Cold temperatures, the track just wasn't taking in any rubber. Like these guys would say they're on like a 50 to set. It's taking them 50 to 75 laps to finally start having some tire fall off there.
Right.
Because like they said on the broadcast, they're just out there running qualifying laps, so it's going to be really hard to pass.
Right.
Cold temperatures, I really do think, and I guess the lowering the horsepower there, we ran 750 at Martinsville last year. Didn't look like what the Packers we ran now did a good job. But I think the biggest thing is why the hell are we shifting at Martinsville? I think that was the biggest problem there, is because a guy messes up a corner, all he has to do is grab a gear, and he's going to correct his mistake right there, and you're not going to get faulted for it. So I think shifting at Martinsville, Dale Jr. said it on Door Bumper Clear, is like, we do not need to be shifting at Martinsville.
No, that's just ridiculous.
It just doesn't make any sense. I think all those played a factor in this one. Snoozer.
Yeah. But Chase Elliott, he got the pole for the race. He won stages 1 and 2. Pretty much a Hendrick dominated day because William Byron, he pretty much dominated the entire final stage. We know that he's been really good at Martinsville, just hasn't gotten that win yet. And then finally did it. You know, hard to pass for the lead, but either way, 24 went to victory lane. That's his second win of the year. First multi-time winner of the season as well. Didn't see that coming with William Byron. I
did not have that on my bingo card.
Might be lighting it up this year.
So if you would have told me this far into the season, Chase Elliott would be the winless guy there, and we'd have William Byron with multiple wins, I told you you're crazy. But on the other side of that, Hendrick performing really well at Martinsville, not outside what we know to happen there. They led their 10,000th lap over the weekend with Chase Elliott, which is absolutely insane to think about. 10,000 laps at one track. Insane. Hendrick's
been so Jimmy Johnson has gotten 9 wins there. Jeff Gordon's got a bunch of wins there. I know Junior had a couple there as well. So it's wild. That's 10,000 laps.
Yeah, they led 98% of the laps on Saturday night. So William Byron led 212. Chase Elliott led 185. In third with the most lap, Ryan Blaney with 5. And Austin Dillon also led that. But these were all
and those are all in a pit cycle.
All in a pit
all
cycle.
In green flag pit cycle.
William Byron won this race not only because he had a fast car, the final pit stop put him on the front, put him in first. He was able to restart first there. Shocker, Chase Elliott's pit crew stumbles on a big pit stop late in the race because this was his race to win.
Things are rough for the 9 and 18 crews this year.
It's been tough for them. Yeah, look at William Byron here. Go back to last week. William Byron is in the lead with 5 laps to go before Denny Hamlin catches up to him. That's just on a strategy. So Byron realistically could have 3 wins on the year right now. He's looking like the kid that we were waiting to see because all those years we were super critical on him. When he was paired with Chad Knaus, it was not working out. But
we saw what he did in the truck and Xfinity. He lit it up when he was down.
And then his first couple of years in Cup sucked. Then he gets this crew chief swap, and ever since that happened, those two have just taken
him
off.
and Rudy.
Have taken off, and now they're looking like a force to be reckoned with. I mean, Byron's just been fast this year. He was fast in the truck, got the win, and got it here. It was really cool. He did it for his mom too. The stuff with his mom with the post-race celebration, so that was pretty cool. But wow, Hendrick dominated this race sucked ass though.
Just like you said, it was a track position race. You couldn't pass. I know that we know for a fact that William Byron had a great car. We know Chase Elliott had a great car, but I would almost argue we don't know who really had the best car because you couldn't pass anybody. So how would you really know? The only thing you really look at is lap times, which again could be impeded based on track position.
Right.
So what the answer is to fix it, I think that's part of having a new car is there's going to be some things you got to look at. This car has really put on a good show at just about every other kind of racetrack except for this short track, which is weird. Because it put on a really good show in Los Angeles. Yeah. Now, warmer temperatures could be at play there, so the tires fell off.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we got to find, what went wrong here. Why were we shifting here as opposed to other places? And how do we fix this? Because you can't have Martinsville not putting on a good race. It's, been a quintessential race, especially that second one in the playoffs. Yeah. It's a big race for the season every year. Almost always sets the tone for the championship 4. He really gets some momentum going into the championship weekend.
You hope they look at the flaws from this race. Maybe they can tweak something up. Well, also too, hopefully it'll be a little bit warmer in the fall. We'll see. We'll see. I do really think it's just temperature wise. They ran it at night when it's cold in the springtime. So
yeah, well, we ran Martinsville in the night.
I know, and it's a new car. We're gonna have trial and error. This is the first error that we're having with
gearbox, though, because these guys should not be able to shift at Martinsville. I think they need to make a tweak to that. Because they should not be shifting at this kind of a racetrack. And then I would like to see them just for the short tracks, even because Richmond, it was a strategy race, but that wasn't the most entertaining race either. So it really looks like this car and this package is hurting the short tracks a little bit. I think we need to get a little more horsepower in these things if we're going to run these short tracks.
Right.
Well, I think that, and I think a big part of that is the tires. Yeah. The tires didn't fall off as much. Part of that could be lack of horsepower, doesn't put as much wear and tear as are going into the turns because you're not, getting as much force. But there's something that needs to be said there too. If the tires had fallen off more, if you would have saw guys, being able to rubber up that outside line and have that be a little more competitive, we might have seen a different race. None of those things happened. So I think it was a little bit more of a cause and effect. The car wasn't good. The tires weren't good. And it could have been one caused the other.
Right.
So here we are. But like I said, NASCAR hit it out of the park so far with this car. They'll figure it out. There's a lot of really smart people on these teams. They're going to get this all figured out.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, but just the thing, there is zero lead changes under green. There are zero big fat goose egg passes for the lead under green. That's unacceptable. I feel so bad for whoever purchased a ticket to go to that race because you did not. And they ran out of hot dogs. Martinsville ran out of hot dogs. Did they really?
That's the biggest travesty right there.
How you going to promote hot dogs as your thing and you run out of them? Oh, man.
It's a big L right there.
Big F right there for Martinsville. What a really bad weekend for them.
Yeah, right.
The races kind of sucked, and now they run out of hot dogs. Yeah, get it fixed. But I was not expecting this at all. I actually watched an F1 race afterwards for the first time in my life because I wanted to see some actual racing there for a second. Because this is awful. This is
Yeah.
awful. Goose egg.
And the big talks from this weekend, I went off on Twitter about this, was shortening the races. Like, I really don't understand people's logic, like, with how boring this race was with shortening it. It would have done nothing for it.
Well, they already
I would
did shorten it.
argue
Well,
if
yeah.
it was longer, would be even more boring.
Yeah, it would have been
Yeah.
worse if they
Yeah.
ran the full 500. We would have just seen this was a 403 lap race, and then we would have to see 97 more laps of nobody being able to pass for the lead. If you, like I said, you can put BJ McLeod on that front row right there. All he needs is a decent launch, and nobody's getting around him.
Right.
And because he just could not pass that leader. Like the guys were saying on the radio that they can get runs on guys. They can run them down. It almost brought back 550 flashbacks there. They could run them down, but then they just get stuck. They can't pass them. So
Yeah.
NASCAR, they got to fix this one because so far the racing's been great this year. But man, who would have thought this car would have hurt the short tracks?
Right. All right, guys. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be doing a little bit of Kinzel's Classroom. All right, everybody, welcome back. We're going to be digging into Kinzel's Classroom. Professor, take it away.
All right, so up, boys, classes in session. Welcome back to another edition of the Kinzel's Classroom here on the Stock Car Special. It's been a while since we've done one of these. I think we've only done one or two this year. I've just been busy with school and everything, but now that we're here in the studio again, have to bring it back for this. Man, this is a tough one at Martinsville this past weekend. It's kind of like nobody could move, so you kind of, wherever you were to start the race, that's where you were to finish it.
Right.
Almost. Not a whole lot of guys are moving up, but you know how we do things here. We switched it up a little bit this year. We're going to go around the room. We're going to talk about who had themselves a solid day, who deserves the A, and then my favorite part, who's come to see me after class. And I already know one guy who is. I got to throw my own boy under the bus here in a little bit, but let's get into this thing. And all right, let's start here. So yeah, like I said, really hard to pass here. So not a whole lot of movement was being done. So let's get your guys' take on this. Who had themselves a day at Martinsville on Saturday night? The track conditions.
Pains me to say this, but Chase Elliott had himself a hell of a day. Fell back kind of at the end. He finished 10th in the race. But either way, he swept both stages, led almost half of the whole damn thing. So I'd say with him going back to 10th, I'd give him an A- on the day. He's still the points leader after Saturday. So hell of a day for Chase.
Right. With leaving the low-hanging fruit of William Byron still up there, I'm going to go with my boy Ryan Blaney having another phenomenal weekend. Finishing fourth, picking up pretty good points along the way all day. Outside of Chase Elliott, he is the natural points leader. So I think Chase has got him by 3 points. Coming into the race, he was the points leader for everybody without a win. So we've talked about his woes on races that had kind of given away so far. But you know what? Those race wins are going to come. And when you're not winning, these are the kind of races you want to have to put you in a good position. For when you don't win, you still got a bunch of points you can go back on.
Absolutely. Some guys I'm going to mention here. I got to give a nod here to the 45 car of Kurt Busch and the 2311 team. Another good run for that team. They struggled to open up the year a little bit. Kurt was not happy with how the car was driving and everything. Just the little things that kept putting him back. But over these last couple of races, Kurt in that 45 car starting to figure things out a little bit here. And I think that's what that 2311 group as a whole needs. They need to have some solid runs here. You know, Bubba's been plagued by a lot of bad luck. He's run fast. He said it time and time again. They have fast cars. They just have to execute at the end of these races. And he's had a lot of bad luck in there. But good run for the 45 car of Kurt Busch. And despite the finish, I also got to give a nod. 41 car Cole Custer, stage 1, stage 2, top 5 runs there. And then there was a pit penalty at the end that plagued him, and which led to a 21st place finish. But we have not seen Cole Custer run up front very often. And to see him do it at a place like Martinsville, that just shocked you a little bit. It was a pretty good day for Stewart Haas Racing. I mean, Chase Briscoe, another top 10. Eric Almirola had a good run. You know, Kevin, he finished 14th. He had an okay day, but yeah, it was Cole Custer leading the way for SHR there for a little bit. That's something we haven't seen maybe once when he won at Kentucky.
Yeah, that was pretty much the only time we kind of seen him run up front.
That was the only up of his cup career.
Yeah.
Was that. But yeah. So those are the guys who had themselves a day, but now my favorite part, who didn't have themselves a day. I have to start this one off. From a boy under the bus. He went from the highest of highs last week to the lowest of fucking lows this week. They were getting passed on the racetrack by Justin Haley and Todd Gillen. Michael McDowell was passing us. Denny Hamlin, what happened, my guy? He goes out and he wins Richmond last year, and I think, all right, the best fellow's over here. Hell no. We come to qualifying here in Martinsville on Friday, and he qualified like 30th, and he never once cracked the top 20. I don't think he got lapped right away. He was like 3 laps down to finish the race, I believe. And his car is just dog shit. They couldn't do anything. Track conditions are not, man.
Really, everyone at Joe Gibbs, like, it doesn't look like race winning cars this year.
Just do not. I mean, Denny, man, this is Martinsville. This is one of Denny's best tracks, so just to see him run so poor at this racetrack, never looked competitive. He gets a big old fat stinking F for me, and he's gonna be seeing me after class.
Pretty solid. I'm going to stay in the same camp. We kind of alluded to the whole team not having speed. I think another guy that runs really well here we got to go with is Martin Truex Jr. He talked about it before the race. He was a little nervous for the speed of this car as far as race winning speed, and it showed on Saturday night. They didn't have it.
And this is one of his better tracks.
Yeah, again, this is a guy who we've seen a pretty steady decline since his championship season. As far as his pure dominance, he still had pretty deep playoff runs and had some chances at championships, but nothing like what he did that year. And again, this is a track that he usually is always in the mix for, and just didn't happen again. So, and to be that far off is a little alarming.
Just that whole organization as a whole. Kyle Busch brought home the best finish in 7th. Christopher Bell, he had a solid little run going there until he got himself a penalty. So just a lot of mistakes by the Gibbs guys. I mean, they just do not look fast at all. Ian, who you got?
I gotta go with the guy who finished in 19th, Kyle Larson, guys. I mean, ever since his win at Auto Club, he hasn't really showed that, he was up there contending for wins, on a regular basis like he was last year. Finishes 19th at Martinsville. So I don't know. I think Kyle's running the struggle bus right now. 19th, big fat stinking F for him, especially with how good Hendrick was doing throughout this whole race.
Yeah, I'd agree. The Hendrick cars were the class of the field, followed closely by Joey and Ryan at Penske Racing. With that being said, part of that Hendrick camp is the 5, and he was nowhere to be found for boatloads of this race.
Even Bowman, he finished 12th. So.
Right. And there were points, like if I remember right, where 19th, he rallied back. He had a penalty on pit road at one point. They really couldn't figure the car out early in the race. Like this was just a very atypical race from Kyle Larson and the 5 team.
Right.
So.
Yeah, it was bad, but I bet you Alex Bowman, when he got out of his car after the race, looked up at this scoring pylon, saw Denny Hamlin down there, and
had himself a laugh.
Saw him down there, had himself a laugh, and be like, huh.
Hack.
So all those guys, they all deserve it. I'm sending the whole Gibbs camp, honestly. Kyle Busch, you're even coming down too, pal, just because I don't like you. The whole Gibbs camp is coming down to see me, and Kyle Larson, defending series champion, come see me as well. A lot of F's this week, but that just fits the nature of this race. This race got a big fat stinking F for me. So
I would say I think we should put this the whole race.
The whole race I'd give an F.
The package,
the tires, the gearboxes get an F, biggest F of them all. So
the amount of hot dogs, we're gonna give that an F too. It's just
how you running out of hot dogs. I just don't understand how you run out of hot dogs when your biggest thing
is the
people
hot
know
dogs.
you for is the hot dogs.
Yeah, exactly.
Unacceptable. Track president, you were so nice to give us some last year, but you fucked up this time. You can come see me too, pal, for running out of hot dogs. But if you guys got nothing left to say, that's gonna do it here for the Kinsley's classroom. Class dismissed. I'm just I'm mad at my students. They put on a shit race.
He's
Everybody
not
deserves
mad.
that.
He's just disappointed.
Disappointed.
That's right.
I really expected better. Should have opened up this segment with me sitting on the table like a teacher would do when they're sitting on their desk with all the graded tests. You can just tell they're disappointed.
Yeah.
I had that happen so many times. You walk into class and then teacher sitting on the desk, glasses off, holding all the tests. You're like, oh shit.
We fucked up.
We fucked up. So that's what happens here. Martinsville, you fucked up. I hope I don't have to do this to you again in the fall.
No way. All right, guys, we're going to take another short break. When we come back, we will be making our predictions for the Bristol Dirt races this weekend. So
Woo-hoo.
stay tuned. All right, everybody, welcome back. We are going to be making our predictions for the Bristol Dirt Race this weekend. We have truck and cup, no Xfinity this weekend. So for the truck race, we got the Pinty's Truck Race on Dirt. It's an 80-mile race. Stage 1 is 40 laps. Stage 2 is 50 laps. And the final is 60 for a total of 150 laps. Martin Truex Jr. won the truck race here last year when he got into the truck for KBM. He is not in the truck this weekend, but some notables that we do have running this race. We have Chase Elliott. He'll be in the 7 Spire truck. Harrison Burton will be in the 17 for DGR. Joey Logano will be in the 54 for DGR. And Austin Dillon will be in the 20 truck for Young Motorsports. Guys, who's your pick to win the truck race? Mikey G, we'll start off with you.
All right. Really hard for me to pick against the guy that won the first cup race on dirt here at Bristol. He's coming down to running this series, not quite as much talent as there is at the Cup Series from top to bottom. So I'm going to go with Joey Logano, put in victory lane.
It's not a bad
That'd be
pick.
so funny to see Joey Logano winning a car number 54. Oh, man. Yeah, for me, I'm going to go with Stuart Friesen. Stuart's a dirt guy, and he's got a feel. I feel like he's going to have a pretty good feel for this racetrack. He did test the Cup car here last week. I think it was either last week or 2 weeks ago. So yeah, 2 totally different cars, but I feel like he's got a little feel for it, and you just never know what's going to happen with this race. So it's going to be a lot of unknowns. So yeah, give me Stewie Friesen.
Not a bad pick there. I got to go with the 20 truck of Austin Dillon. He won the inaugural truck series race at Eldora Speedway. Knows his way around the dirt, so I got to go with the 20 truck. All right, so let's move on to the cup race on dirt. It's 133 miles. Stages 1 and 2 are 100 laps each, and the final is 50 laps for a total of 250 laps, guys. Joey Logano, like you said, won here last year for the inaugural dirt race at Bristol. So, guys, who's your pick to win this year? It's at night this year, so a little bit different. There's going to be more moisture in the track. Nick, who you got for the Cup Series race?
Yeah, well, first and foremost, I think it's total bullshit that we're running a race on Easter night. I know how much this means, that holiday means to a lot of these drivers. There's already limited off weeks in NASCAR, and they just took another one away. And to have to run it on Easter night, that just is some bullshit to me. But yeah, these guys signed up for it. They know what they got themselves into. I don't like this track at all. But I'm gonna pick the 8 car of Tyler Reddick. He had a top 10 run here in last year's race, and this is just a track I think it's gonna suit Tyler. Ripping the top. Kid's more than due for a win. So what better way to get your first win than on this dirt track?
All right, not bad. Mike,
All right.
Who you got?
So, guys, I got to go with the one guy who really surprised everybody last year at the Bristol Dirt Race, and that is Daniel Suarez.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys remember, he seemed to come out of nowhere in that race after, Trackhouse not really having a decent year, but not anything like what we're seeing this year. They vastly improved this year, having all their own stuff and really having their own team. And he really showed out last year. So I can't really wait to see what happens with that 99 car come Sunday night. Now that, they spent a little more time, a little more resources on this car, and he's proven that he can drive on the dirt. So I'm going with Daniel Suarez.
All right, not bad. For my pick for the Cup Series race, I got to go with a dirt racer himself, Mr. Chase Briscoe. Proved himself. He has won Eldora when they ran there in the Truck Series a few years ago. I think that was 2017. So knows his way around the track. So I think he's already looking fast this year, guys. Got himself a win at Phoenix Raceway. Pretty difficult track to get your first win at. So why not get your second one on the dirt at Bristol at the last great Coliseum, guys?
Yeah, not looking forward to this one, I gotta say. And because I obviously still disappointed with how the Martinsville weekend went. And now we got to back it up and we got to go run on a fake dirt track here. I'm Kyle Busch here, man. I'm pro Kyle Busch. And when he made that statement that we need to give this experiment up, that's just setting the sport backwards. If you're going to do it, just go to a real dirt track.
Go to Knoxville.
Go somewhere.
Do what the trucks do. Go to Knoxville.
I think you'll pack that place a whole lot more because this is just, I don't know.
Yeah.
We're going to see two really we're gonna see back-to-back shit shows in the Cup Series, or just all weekend all together with both series running this. You look at the truck guys. Why truckers should not be running on dirt? They're dumb as hell anyway. They like to get in a lot of trouble on the pavement. They don't even know how to race the pavement. Now we got to throw them on dirt.
We'll
these
see.
guys not having experience.
Different conditions this year. It was all ran during the day last year, so we'll see how it runs at night.
All it's going to take is one rainstorm, and we're going to be sitting at our TVs for 14 hours on Sunday. One rainstorm. So, yeah, not looking forward to it.
Nick, you should tell us how you really feel.
Yeah, right. Well, Mike, you got anything else to add before we end the show here?
No, I mean, again, it's not the most exciting race. We have a track that traditionally puts on phenomenal racing in Bristol. I was never a big fan of throwing dirt on it. I would say there were things about the race I was pleasantly surprised with last year. There were things I hated. And again, with this new car, so many variables, we have no idea what we're going to see this weekend with this car on this track, especially with those tires, with the low profile tire, them slipping and sliding around. They could be, taking beads off of tires left and right, just ripping these things all to shred. We have no idea what we're going to see here. Yeah. So that part's a little exciting. I'm going to say I'm cautiously optimistic. I think we're in for a stinker, but I'm hoping differently.
Yeah. We shall see, boys. Well, that will do it for us, guys, for the Stock Car Spectacle. Guys, again, make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, anywhere you get your podcasts. You can find us on there. And, guys, we do have merchandise on Spreadshirt.com, all designed by our good buddy Dalton Good. So that will wrap it up for us. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I'm Ian Jordan.
I'm Mike Gamble.
And I'm Nick Kinzel.
And we'll see you guys next time.